Remember, you can pause anytime you need. 可以随时按下暂停键。Hello everyone, today we are going to cover perspective. So for the past few weeks, we will talk about perspective very often, okay? So perspective is very common to see in all of our drawing. So what do I mean perspective? So some of you might have the idea, okay? So let me finish the writing. So maybe sometime you can Google it to get more detail. So perspective. Perspective is something to show space. Okay, so the space, which means you can show something is more close to you, something at the middle, something is more far. So that view called perspective. So it also means we transform 2D into 3D. So when we do perspective, we will start from something like the front face, the sun face, and find the depth and the width to make the object from 2D to 3D. So that we call perspective. Okay, so today we have two things to do. So the first thing, we were going to practice something easy. Okay, so I need you to grab any piece of paper. So it could be the printing paper that has something at the back, but you are not going to use it. Okay, so any paper is okay, and just regular pencil. I will do it with the marker so you can see it's more clear, but you should do it with the pencils. Okay, so I'm going to flip over. As I said, you can use any paper, something has written at the back, but you're not going to use this. Okay, so when we do the perspective, we have to know something called vantage point. So I would say that's VP. So what is the vantage point? It's a point that you are looking at this spot and everything will going to disappear at this point. Okay, it's a little bit confused, right? So let's get some practice. So you will have a piece of paper. Okay, so this is your piece of paper, and I want you to find any dot. So any dot at anywhere on these pictures. Okay, you have to find any dot, could be at the middle, could at the corner, on the side, on the bottom, anywhere, but just one point. So I will do it at the middle. Okay, so let me notice that is the vantage point. Okay, so you got your points. Okay, then you just grab your pencils. So I want you to start to do a square. So random square around. Random square around. So I want you to practice 5 of them. Okay, around the vantage points. You can have some of them smaller or bigger. They don't have to be the same size. Okay, but they should be at the random space. Okay, so we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 random box around the vantage point. Okay, so let me number them. So when I describe them, you will be easier to understand which one I'm talking about, right? I don't want you to be confused. And you can get the ruler. If you don't have one, it's okay because they are very small. You can just freehand it. So each box, we will have 4 corners, right? You should do that during the math. So you should know that we have 4 corners for each box. I want you to connect each corner to the vantage point. Okay, so from this, you can freehand it. It's better that you freehand it because we are doing the art class. We are not doing the engineering stuff. Okay, so try to control your hand and eyeball it. So I have 4 connection lines. Okay, then it doesn't look like 3D at all. So first we start from this line. I will say that's A, B, C, D. Okay, I want to find the depth on the A side. So I have to do a parallel line in between these two corners. So they are the same angle, they are parallel. Okay, they are the same angle. Then I connect it. Then I have to find the C, the line, the edges C from here. So same thing, I have to do the parallel lines here to touch, to join, and I can close it. Now I got my 3D box because I used the vantage point to find the depth and width Okay, so let's do one more practice together. Then you will do rest of 3 by yourself. Okay, so same thing, we have 4 corners. I want you to join the 4 corners to the vantage point. Okay, so let me add in the letters. So that's A, B, C, D. So we are looking for the A side, right? So I have to add the parallel lines right here. So you can do any place you want to have more close to each other, more skinnier, then you can make the line more close to the box. If you want the box looks longer, you might have this line a little bit far away. But anyway, they have to add the line in between these 2 connection lines, in between these 2 corners. Okay, close, close. Then I have to find the D lines. So same thing, I have to add in the line from this corner and parallel to the D edge here. Then close the box. Okay, so you might have the question, if I only do these 2 sides, why I need to connect the corner here, right? This line doesn't look like useless, right? But if you are doing something like ice cube, something like glass, something you can see through it, then you need this one. For example, I make this box like the glass. Then I will see the box inside, right? Now this line is used for now because I tracing this line to find the angle right here. Okay, so depends. I just telling you, you have to do it. At some situations you will need it, but some situation you don't. Okay, now I want to practice number 3, 4, 5 on your paper. So make sure the line they are on the same angle. If they are straight up, then you have to add all the lines straight up. If the line has the angle like diagonal, then you are going to have this line as the diagonal. Okay, so they should have the same angle. Okay, so even I can just eyeball it. I don't even need to do the connection line to find the angle. But you need time to practice. Okay. So that's why sometimes we need to eyeball it to train our hand muscle and eye to compare, do I do the angle right or wrong? Okay. Okay, from the practice you can see when you place the box at different place of the paper, it looks different. There are boxes that it looks different. For example, the number 5 box, you only see 2 sides, right? Because they are on the same height as the vantage point. Okay, so what that situation will happen? When I pretend those boxes are the house, okay? Pretend they are the house. And I'm like this teeny people right here. So when you stand beside the house, are you able to see the top of the roof? No, you only see the front and the side, right? So what kind of situation you will see the top of the ceiling and the roof? When you are higher than the house, then you can see the top of the roof, right? So what kind of situation we will see the bottom? So we can see that as the balcony. When we are lower than the balcony, so we can see the bottom floor, right? But we are not going to see the top of the balcony because we are lower than the balcony. Okay, so does that make more sense for you? So when you are standing something higher, somewhere higher, so you will see the top of the object. If you're standing beside and you're about the same height, then you won't see the top and the bottom. Okay, so I know it's for some of you are a little bit fresh, and it's something like the new lecture for you. So it's okay because at the past of the futures week, then we will talk about perspective almost every week, even we are doing the watercolor. Okay, so now it's time for you to do the sketch. So I want you to get your sketch pad. So it doesn't have to be the sketch pad if you have the sketch paper, okay, not the watercolor paper. Then I want you to get your 2B sketch pencil and eraser. You might need that very quite often. Okay, so I have my eraser on the side. So just like we practiced, I want you to find a vantage point, but this time I want you to put the vantage point on the side of the paper, but it could be at the top, middle, or bottom. Okay, doesn't matter how high is it, but it has to be on the side. So we will have enough space to do our sketch for today. Today we are going to do the bench. Okay, so I want you to choose a vantage point on the side, but could be on different height. Okay, so I have my vantage point right here. Okay, then I will going to ask you to do a box on the other side, a rectangle, because we are going to do the bench. Okay, so the height will be how high for your bench. Okay, the width is the size of the bench. Okay, so the height of the bench, the width of the bench. Now we have to use the vantage point to find the depth of the bench. Okay, now we have width, we got the height. Now we are going to find the depth. So we're doing exactly the same thing. We're going to connect all the corners to vantage point. So you can freehand it, and please freehand it. I don't want to see anyone take your ruler. We're done with the practice. Now we are doing some sketch. No ruler for sketch. Okay, freehand it. If you think the line is not straight, then erase that and do it again. Okay, so I do it very, very light. In case I make the mistake, I can erase them very quick and easy. Okay, so we have 4 corners, so which means we got 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4 connect to vantage point. Okay, so I want you to design how the depth of the bench. So depend how many people you wanna design to sit on this. Okay, so for entire paper, I don't want my bench look so small. It doesn't look good on my paper, so I will going to do a little bit longer. So I will stop my bench right here. So I'm going to do 2 lines, one's right here, so from here to here. Okay, then don't forget we are doing the same angle. Now I'm bringing this line, go over to touch this one. These two are the same angle. These two are the same angle. They are straight up. They are horizontal. Okay, so make sure you got the right things. So same thing, vertical line, straight up. Then you are going to get another smaller rectangle, just like this one. Okay, it's getting smaller because everything getting smaller and disappear at the vantage point. So everything looks smaller when the subject is close to the vantage point. It will be smaller. Okay, but now it looks like a box. It doesn't look like the chair or the bench, right? So I want you to start to design what kind of bench it looks like in this box. Okay, so first I was thinking about the seat. So the bench usually has a shape, a curved line. Okay, so that's where we sit. And the back, the seat back. So you can design a different shape. Okay, you don't have to do the same thing as I do, but try to symbolize. Okay, we are practice. I don't want you to do something too difficult, so that will confuse you. Okay, so we got the seat, and we need the support under the seat, so when people sit on it, it won't break, right? We need the bench stronger because it's support for public. So I got the double lines and the foot. So we will have one at the back, one at the front. Okay, if you want to do the arms, where you can place your arms, then you can do that. Okay, now I got the seat back. The seat, support, foot, and arms. Okay, so now everything should look like 2D. Looks like a sticker, flat, nothing. Okay, let's take about 3 minutes. Okay, so when you finish the design of the bench, now we have to connect to everything to the vantage point to find the depth of the chair, of the bench, right? Otherwise, it will just like 2D. It's not perspective. Perspective is something from 2D to 3D. Okay, so now let's transform the flat bench to the 3D. Okay, so first let's find the seat. From here, the top of the seat, you're going to from this point and connect all the way to the vantage point. Okay, so I got the points right here, and the bottom of the bench, bottom of the seat, same thing, all the way to the vantage point. Okay, now I got the seat, the front of the seat. Okay, and the support, the bottom, same thing. I'm going to connect all the way to the vantage point, but you can stop at the box here because there's no more bench, right? My bench is stopped right here. Okay, then don't worry about the foot because the foot is not all the way to there, right? Foot is the single post, so we just leave the foot here. Okay, but we have to do the back and the back of the seat. So from this point all the way to the vantage point. So I will stop right here. Can you see there's a line? Okay, and it doesn't complete right here, right? So see here, we have a curved shape for the seat. If your chair is flat one, then you don't have to do the curve. Okay, so I have the curved line right here, so I'm going to have the curved line right here. You got it? Okay, then we'll do the same thing for the back. So a curved shape, I will do in the same curved shape, but I only do once because I don't see the depth on this side. I only see the depth on this side, not here. Okay, then trace the top. Okay, so I will going to use the marker to trace my joints, but you don't have to. So while I'm tracing, you can start to clean out the line that you don't need it. For example, the box, I'm not going to need the box, right? It's useless. So I will going to remove that, but I will do that when I finish tracing. So when I start to trace, and you can start to clean out all the messy line that you don't need it. Then we will add in the detail. Okay, after I finish tracing, everything should look more clear for you, right? So when I'm done with the tracing, now I have to start to add in the detail. So for example, the arm I only do is on the left. I forgot to do it on the right. So I'm going to do it. So I will try to do the similar shape. Okay, even the foot. make sure my foot is inside the box, just like the one I did on the left. Okay. And the foot has the depth, so I'm going to add the double line on the right, so it won't look like a paper. All right, it looks like a paw. Something actually can hold the bench. Okay, so since you have the angle correct, so you can start to add the detail. Like the bench might have the frames, and it might make by the wood. But the same, even you're adding the wood, you have to make sure all the line is going into the vantage points. All the line have to go to the vantage point. Okay, so I got the frame for the bench. See, all the light, it looks like it's going through the vantage point. Okay, so now you should clarify all the pencil line, because we might have a lot and we don't need them anymore. Even you can erase the vantage points, but for the class record you can leave it, so next time you will have the idea where's the vantage point is. Okay, so clean up all the box and the connection line, we don't need it. And you can use your sketch pencil to do some shading, a few of them. You don't have to do too much, because today we are focused on perspective. Okay, just like last week, we actually do perspective drawing on the last week's lecture. This 1 point perspective, because we can see something on the front, like the wagon is on the front. The middle part we got the tree, then the vantage points, the mountains. The mountain is far away. Okay, so you will see most of the drawing they have to have perspective to show the space, to make you feel like something has the depth. Okay, you can see something at the front, middle, and back. So that is perspective. Okay, so that's finished the shading. I just want you to try to shading dark, medium, light for small detail. It's very similar like the wagon we did for last week. When you're shading, please lie down your pencils. You are not doing the writing, so you have to lie down your pencil like this way, not straight up. Okay, you are not doing the writing, you are shading. Okay, so this is the lecture for today. Okay, I hope that you understand it, but if you have a little bit confused, let me know, then I will describe it next week again. Okay, and bye everyone. Don't forget to take a photo and send it to me. When you complete your drawing, sign the name and write down the date. 完成画作之后，签下你的名字，更写上日期。Don't forget to take a photo of your drawing and send it to us. 不要忘记帮你的作品拍上照片寄给我们哦。And don't forget to clean out the table before you go. 不要忘记清洁你的桌子哦。 Bye bye, see you next time.